All right, yeah, look at that. As Jason King, the Asian Persuasion, was sporting a new mustache. He is 4-2 out of course, that great camp, KMAA in Knoxville, representing Valor Fights, taking on the Juggernaut. Brandon Bell, 6-6 out of Harlan, Kentucky, representing Warrior FC and Kentucky. It's our welterweight bout presented by Corporate Clothing. For our fighter introductions, here's Jennifer.
Our next bout of the evening is in the welterweight division, brought to you by Corporate Clothing. First, please welcome to the cage, Jason King.
Jason King, new stash and all. We'll see if he comes out with it. I didn't notice earlier. Did Jason King have the stash of the weigh-in?
I did. Yes, he did. He did. He did have that mustache. It was crazy. And, you know, I mean, he's always got something to show, man. Aside from what's going on in the cage, he's a tremendous personality.
He is versatile. Personality is good. What's he like as a fighter?
Oh, he's amazing. You know, I mean, he really comes from that Taekwondo background, but then he has evolved so much more there at KMAA. You know, he really great on his feet, and he has shown that he can battle under a very tough, under the tough lights. You know what I'm saying? Like when it hits the fan, he's ready to do battle.
And we saw him get a first-round victory over David Suter Jr. at Valor Fights 41. That was back in March, less than 2 months ago, in 2 minutes and 31 seconds. And he bounced back from a loss to Wesley Golden before that. So that really showed a lot as a pro to be able to bounce back like that.
Oh, undoubtedly. And that is what being a professional MMA fighter is all about. Things can happen in the blink of an eye inside the cage. And when you know, you deal with that adversity and you come back, that's really the testament of a champion. Joe Louis proved that.
No doubt. And the Juggernaut Brandon Bell is the opponent for Jason King. We'll tell you about him in just 1 second, as the Asian Persuasion has to duck his head to slide inside the cage. He's in the cage. Fans love it. Back to Jennifer.
And his opponent making his way to the cage, please welcome Brandon Bell.
Brandon Bell representing Warrior FC in Kentucky, the opponent for Jason King. The Juggernaut is out of D3 Elite in Harlan, Kentucky. As we take a look at the tail of the tape in this bout presented by Corporate Clothing. The difference in record, Brandon Bell more experience, King the better win percentage. Jason King is 4 years younger. The height difference is significant at 4 inches. Jason King weighed in at 172 pounds for this welterweight bout, as Brandon Bell weighed in at 169. Tell us about Bell, Casey.
Man, Brandon Bell is a guy that I've known for many, many years. He was one of the original Warrior FC competitors there in Harlan, Kentucky, and he started really as I believe, a bantamweight. That's like 135 pounds, and he has developed into the fighter that he is today, and that is the Warrior FC middleweight champion. Now he steps down, moves down into the welterweight division tonight in this matchup. But, man, this guy is still well put together. He is a big, thick guy.
And you can tell by the physique, he's a competitive bodybuilder, powerlifting champion. There's no doubt. He's coming off of a submission win over Bradley Stafford as well. That was just over a month ago.
Yeah, we were there in attendance and calling that action, and man, he got into some deep waters, but he told through. Just so much pressure, so strong, and when he gets under, you know, in a tough situation, he's able to get it to the ground and stifle his opponents. I'm very excited for this one. A contrast of styles, but man, both bring a lot of ability into the cage.
You know, the tail of the tape listed about 4 inches height difference between the two. Jason King is not only tall, but he is long. We didn't list the reach difference. The reach seems like, in addition to the height, that could very well be a factor.
I think that the reach is more so a factor all the time. I think that, you know, reaching someone's head is a lot easier when you're closer, and Jason King's not going to let him be close. And that's the thing. It's not even your hands you got to worry about. It's the length of your legs when it involves the Asian Persuasion.
Brandon Bell, 2 straight wins as a pro, 6-6 overall. Jason King won his last fight. He's 4-2. To officially announce our fighters, we go back to Jennifer.
This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the orange corner and representing Valor Fights. He weighed in at 172 pounds, holds a professional record of 4 wins with 2 losses, and fights out of KMAA in Knoxville, Tennessee. The Asian Persuasion, Jason King. And his opponent across the cage to my right, fighting out of the blue corner and representing Warrior FC. He weighed in at 169 pounds, holds a professional record of 6 wins with 6 losses, and represents D3 Elite and fights out of Harlan, Kentucky, the juggernaut, Brandon Bell. Your referee when the action begins is John House.
Jeff House, our referee in this welterweight bout at 170, presented by Corporate Clothing at Border Wars here in Corbin, Kentucky. It's Jason King in the red trunks, representing Valor Fights in Tennessee. Brandon Bell in the black trunks, representing Warrior FC and Kentucky. 3 5-minute rounds. Touch of gloves were underway at the Corbin Arena. Valor Fights 43, Border Wars. Vince Farrar, Casey Oxendine, cage side.
Well, I'll tell you what, it very close. In my estimation, Warrior FC is up big time on the score. Jason King here. It's all on the line for him. Here comes Brandon Bell right out of the gate, landing big shots.
King landed a quick left on Bell. Forced Bell to tap at that eye a little bit early on. King continues to circle to his right.
Bell, so much pressure and so well put together. It's a guy who can take a lot of abuse and keep coming forward. Jason King always on his wheels, and he can deliver a lot. And, man, he can put your lights out with one well-placed kick. Don't keep your hands down. That's one thing. That's Jason King 101.
And can do it from distance without getting into tough spots with that reach.
Oh, here we go, firing off. Brandon Bell, undeterred, however.
Minute gone by in round 1. Bell focusing on the chest of King.
Oh, big shots there. See Jason King bringing that left around the guard of Brandon Bell. He put those hands up in the middle. He goes down the middle, and then he moves around with looping punches. Excellent switch up there. Oh, and more of it.
Quick hands from King. And combos, too, not single shots.
Nothing huge yet, though. Brandon Bell covering well. And this is the thing, when Jason King's opening up, he's got to watch for that big overhand right, and there it comes.
Right on cue, Casey. No one threatening any sort of takedowns to this point. All stand up early on.
And I'll say Jason King really loading up here. And Jason, I was going to say no kicks yet, but there comes one looking for that body shot. Brandon Bell tightening up there in the body.
His hands were so high, he took advantage. And
here we go. Now Bell looking to take it to the ground. And wham, beautiful takedown. Wow. Brandon Bell works with Adam Primetime Townsend quite a bit. Also with Ian Lawler. Those are both very stout individuals, used to working on the ground and putting pressure. And now Brandon Bell applying pressure of his own here.
That was a slam with force by Bell, who is put together. Just past the midway point of round 1 here at Valor Fights 43 Border Wars.
We spoke about it before. Brandon Bell is a guy who has come up in weight throughout the years as high as middleweight, and he has achieved the status of middleweight champion at Warrior FC. And again, he's dropping that weight. He's dropped that weight to come in here, and again, looks phenomenal at that weight.
Brandon Bell started fighting. He's 32 years of age, started fighting back in 2005, turned pro in 2008, and has taken his time as a pro.
Yeah, Brandon Bell using those elbows. I can't see from this vantage point what kind of damage he's doing. It looks like a little bit of color over there over the left eye of Jason King. Nothing big yet, though.
King trying to control that left arm, and there's a short elbow that connects by Bell.
Now this is a spot here where Brandon Bell, he can remain here all night long. They're going to get a stand-up because he is in an advantageous position. Jason King will have to work out of this spot, look for the guard. Now this is something that Brandon Bell is known for in the later rounds for fading just a little bit. But Jason King needs to watch here because Brandon Bell looking for that Kimura lock and re-swimming the top position. Jason King has less than a minute to survive this. Will he be able to endure the pressure?
Corner thanking King for trying to buck out. He Almost was staying in that position in the corner and wanted him to try to move.
Now Jason King controlling that left arm of Brandon Bell, very smart. And looking for the swim yet again, Jason King able to get it back.
Talk about that leg crossover.
Well, that's to prevent the mount. Now, Jason King, you can see that swelling under the left eye. That does not look good, especially this early in the matchup.
Blood, maybe on the chin or the mouth of King.
I think it's coming from the mouth, but I think the eye is the bigger problem here.
Yeah.
And now Jason King able to get the half guard position as we close out round one. Vincent,
that
tough spot for Valor Fights right now.
Yep, and King taking a ton of damage, and Valor Fights cannot afford another loss. And
no.
that eye is closing.
Yeah,
on
I
King.
know, and you're going to see the doctors coming in to take a look at it. That's not something that Valor Fights wants to see right here.
Coming into this bout, Valor Fights trailing Warrior FC 5-2 with 4 bouts to go, including this one. You see our lovely ring girl Chelsea. And let's take a look at the replay here, Casey.
Well, it was all Jason King on the stand-up, but man, once it hit the ground, it was Jason King landing in a tough spot underneath crossbody, and from there, it was the pressure of Brandon Bell. You see Mark Laws on the eye of Jason King here doing work.
Wow.
It could be a broken orbital. We hope that he's able to continue. Now, we saw him get dropped before and really have his face mangled and able to come back. Will he be able to do the same? Will he be able to prevent another takedown? Because, man, he does not want to be there.
Jason King is facing some certain adversity. He's faced some tough fighters and had to deal with it within a fight. And to start round 2, likely down 1 round none on the scorecards. Valor Fights can ill afford another loss here tonight. It's a key here for King to stay on his feet.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Yep.
Undoubtedly, man. Now, that being said, if he does end up in his guard, we've seen him finish with submissions, with triangles, but it's only later in the fight when his opponent has started to cool off a little bit. Brandon Bell looks fresh as rain right now, man.
Is Bell going to – I was going to say overhand right. Going to try to attack that side of Jason King with that eye.
You know, that's undoubtedly Jason King's fight on the feet. Now, Jason King able to stifle the takedown momentarily, but now Brandon Bell looking for the takedown.
As you can see there, the eye not fully closed by King.
Okay, King's going to submit to it. I was going to say, it looked like he was going to try to set up a submission. You know, this is not as bad as the crossbody. Still not a spot he wants to be in at all.
He just ate another right to that eye.
Right to that eye. And, you know, it only takes one to bust that thing wide open, and then we've got a problem in the corner of the KMA and Valor Fights.
Jason King here with some additional adversity after a tough first round. Trying to lock him in and hope for a stand-up here.
Well, I think that's what he's attempting to do, and it's going to be, you know, that's a tricky kind of situation there because if you don't get it, you're going to lose the round. You know, you're going to lose the round being on your back like that.
Wall walk from King. Oh, big hammer fist. King didn't like that.
Not at all.
King set his head back and took a deep breath. Midway through round number 2, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
I think that that Brandon Bell knows what's coming from Jason King. Jason King has finished several of his fights with triangle. He is looking for that. He is looking out for it. Now, you know, there's not a lot of activity here. You may see the referee looking to maybe work for the stand-up.
Jeff House looking on, but doesn't look like he is ready to pounce. He gets a little bit closer now. King has avoided the elbows this time from this position.
Again, Jason King continues to look for the triangle.
What's the key for him? What's he need to get to make that work and transition to it?
He's got that underhook, but again, I think Brandon Bell is really looking for it. The times that Jason King has pulled it off have been, in spots where his opponent is really tired, and he's not able to make Brandon Bell tired. He's not able to hurt Brandon Bell and put him into that situation. And so now he lays on his back with a minute to go in round 2.
He needs some more shots, and Bell staying active enough to keep this in this position. Under a minute left in round number 2. Kentucky with a commanding lead coming into this fight. One more win would seal the promotion battle between Valor Fights and Warrior FC. More shots from Bell, just short shots. King cannot get anything going, and now Bell opens up. King unable to stand up there in the final seconds.
Wow.
And Brandon Bell finishes on top where he was at most of that second round. Jason King's face is frankly a mess right now. Mark Law is the best in the biz. Is going to do some more work on that eye, which has closed some more. And Jason King getting a word from Eric Turner from that KMAA camp. Jason King gets to work with Ovent St. Preux and that camp at KMAA. And we take a look at the replay here as King is looking over at his corner and decided to go into his guard. And he ended up there for the rest of the round. Can King, and that eye is not completely closed, but man, it is swollen. And the swelling is expanding south, lower in his face, so that has allowed King to still be able to see out of that eye, we think, based on it still being open. Jeff House, our referee, looks at both corners. Well, they touch gloves, and we're underway in the third and final round.
It is a do or die right now for Jason King.
King has got to find a way to keep this in the stand-up game and maybe catch Bell with something significant. Looks good with letting the hands go.
Yeah, but he's got to watch it. You can't sit there and open up all day.
And he allowed Bell to take him down.
Now Bell looking a little more blown up now. Will it be enough, though? Will Jason King have enough in the tank? Because Brandon Bell has been so dominant in this matchup.
Got to be discouraging for Jason King that he finds himself back in this position where he's been much of the fight.
And, you mentioned the stand-ups. This referee is not giving any stand-ups. It's not going to happen. It doesn't appear. If Jason King wants off of his back, he's going to have to make it happen.
King with some heel kicks, but really that body of Bell likely doing much. Oh, couple shots, rights from Bell to the face of Jason King. Bell is just prepared for what King is going to do.
Absolutely. Well, and you've got Adam Townsend. You've got a big crew of guys that have trained with Jason King in the past. They were in the past affiliated, and now they're there coaching, and so you see that coming out.
The juggernaut Brandon Bell, 2-fight win streak. Brian Stevens and Bradley Stafford, the last 2 wins for Bell.
Yeah.
Prior to that, it lost 2 straight, but he's bounced back and looks great. The 32-year-old in control throughout all of this one, representing Warrior FC in Kentucky. Now blood. Not sure where it's coming from, if it's from the cut or something else. But on the forehead of King and on the chin. Jason King is a mess right now.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's rough. His face, a crimson mask here.
Just eating shot after shot. And you see the blood in the mouth of King. The eye, a separate cut. Oh, another elbow from Bell. Just a vicious attack by Bell. King just doesn't seem like he has an answer to get out of this position.
Man,
right?
it's a hard position at this point. He's been wrestled hard. It takes a toll on you. And that's not the game plan of Jason King, to be on his back. He can catch you, if they get you down after, doing some work, but he was really unable to load up on Brandon Bell and get anything accomplished. And, and this is what you see. Brandon Bell really tolling forward and getting work done.
A minute left in this fight. I'm sure Bell would love a finish, but he is beat on Jason King for about 14 minutes so far. And Jason King is going to show the effects. Oh, more vicious shots. Bell gets up. Is he going to let King up?
I don't know. I don't think so. But King needs to get up.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that he's in that survival range right now, and oh, here we go. They're going to stand it up. Wow. He's got 30 seconds to get something done. Otherwise, this is going to be Brandon Bell's fight.
Crowd gets into it in the final 25 seconds. Bell's going to circle and stay away from danger, and here comes King. Crowd getting into it as King is on the attack. King sprawls, but he was able to close the distance and get a takedown.
He finishes the takedown, undoubtedly Brandon Bell with the victory here. What a fight.
The juggernaut, impressive start to finish, and he looks like he is going to, no question, get a victory over Jason King, who is a terrific fighter out of that KMAA camp. Ovent St. Peru in the house to watch his teammate Jason King. Take a look at the replay here as King was trying to rally late and get something going. But Bell was able to close the distance, stop the flurry of King and prevent any sort of chance that King may have had. And you look at the facial damage of Jason King, my goodness. A great showing by Brandon Bell, and this will also put Kentucky up 6-2. Another win for Kentucky looks like it's on its way. To make it official, we go to the cage and Jennifer.
After 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to your judges' scorecard for decision. All 3 judges scored this bout 30-27. For your winner by unanimous decision, representing Warrior FC out of the blue corner, Brenda Bell.